Hey guys, so I just wanted to, sorry it's like hella dark in here, I don't even know how to fix that, maybe a little bit better. I wanted to do a video that was basically on my parents' response to a letter that I wrote to them, and also on how I think the support or not having support of your family can seriously affect how comfortable you are with coming out, but also how comfortable you are with yourself, as with anything else, of course. It's just kind of like that. A lot of people can push through it, but it takes a lot of time. Responses are so incredibly important, and I don't know how much people actually understand that when they're friends, family, and all of that. So I got lucky on my end. This letter that I'm about to read to you guys might help somebody kind of form maybe some ideas about how to talk to their parents or family or whatever, but it also might give them some ideas on how to write a letter too. Not saying mine is perfect or anything, but I feel like I kind of covered all of the bases, and I got a really great responses from my parents. My mom actually called me the day she found the letter and was thanking me for the letter and saying that she wanted to talk to me. She had some questions, but she was incredibly open to me, and I really did not expect that from her. And my dad sent me a text yesterday, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I found your letter, I read it," and he's like, "I think that it was probably one of the best things I've ever read, and I wish I could frame it and put it in my personal office if I had one." And he was saying it was like Independence Day, so I thought that was really fucking cool. I think it kind of makes sense to him because I've always kind of been more of a son than a daughter anyway, because my family's very split, male, female, guys do this, girls do that kind of thing, and I really kind of did both, only because I felt like it was right for me to do some of the girl things because my mom really, really wanted that from me, and I just ended up doing most of what the boys did. And so I think both of my parents probably seen quite a bit of the potential for me to come out like this. It's not really all that like crazy for them. Not too big of a leap. But in any case, here's my letter. I was thinking to myself, what name would you have chosen if you had another son? Do you think that name would have fit me if I were born a boy? It's sort of nice that you can answer that. You know me and you can imagine if a name fits me. You see, I've been thinking. In fact, I've been thinking for 29 years about how uncomfortable it's been. I don't really expect it to be easy to understand, but I do hope you can try. I'm transgender. I don't identify as female. I actually see like a bright red flashing light every time someone calls me ma'am or girl or lady. Although I guess I've gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable. Words like this don't bother me because I have some political correct bias. These words bother me because I don't identify myself in my brain as these things. I fluctuate between confusion, anger, frustration, severe discomfort, and alienation. And shame. Not just in response to words, but in social interactions, conversations, and appropriateness of placement and setting in society. I even feel these things towards my own body. I know you've seen signs of this throughout my life. I know you've asked me weird questions that made both of us uncomfortable. But the truth is, it's been so hard for me to understand why I feel these things, much less be able to embrace that, as if coming out as lesbian wasn't traumatizing enough. I got hate letters from lifetime friends, was blackmailed by a friend's mother so I would stop hanging out with her daughter, and was told I may be expelled if I didn't deny the rumors by my dean. I don't think I was ready to deal with the real issue anytime soon after that, and for a very long time I really tried hard to find my place in my world and in my skin. No one wants to be a freak. Even the people that portray themselves purposely as someone you may call a freak do so to push back against the man and the pressure to be what media wants us to be. Unfortunately, some of us are just a tad too far on the crazy train to pretend to be normal, whoever the fuck created normal. I firmly believe it takes those that break the mold to change the world. I believe I was made exactly as I am so I can be one of the odd ones, Maybe I can pry open a few minds out there that are suffocating under social confinement. Even if I wasn't willing to be a spokesperson for the oddball community, I still couldn't stop it. I would still be trying to please the expectations or hoping I could be a different, lesser version of weird, while feeling like I was shriveling up inside. Then I realized I wasn't afraid of being weird. I was afraid to be different, just like everybody else is afraid to be different. Denying myself has been far harder than being told I wasn't acceptable ever could be. And yet I need acceptance. I need support. This isn't going to be easy, but I'm ready for it. I'm finally ready to embrace who I am and be comfortable in my skin. As a disclaimer, I also want to just tell people, I grew up in a super Christian environment, and I went to a Christian school basically my entire life. So that's where a lot of some of this roots from. So, 2 things I need you to know. 1, I am me. That won't change. I've always been the person I identify as, and all I will be doing is changing my body's appearance so I fit inside of it better. I know there's a common misconception that someone is dying and someone else is being born, and that's just crazy. That doesn't happen, so you can relax. And B, I am sure. I know 29 years doesn't seem like a long time, but in fact it is definitely time enough. And a ripe enough age to really nail down the last few bolts and screws in the person I will be for the rest of my life. Yeah, I'm even nearing the age of being set in my ways. All joking aside, I need you to have faith in me. I know you're good at that. To be honest, I'm afraid you may tell me that it doesn't make sense for one reason or another, but what I'm really asking for is support. Yep, some things will change, like pronouns and my name. I don't expect that to happen overnight. It's a process. Take your time and let it sink in. Then let me know if you want to give me a name. You've had enough time to get to know me, so tell me what's your son's name. Love, me. So that's just my letter to my parents. And some people may not agree with some of the wording that I used, but I'm not really trying to be politically correct. I'm just trying to help my parents understand me a little bit better. And the whole part about being weird, let's accept it. Transgender people are not exactly something that is 100% normal or comfortable for most people. Not because we're actually weird, because we're just people, but mainly because it's hard for other people to understand. And that just makes something weird, I guess. Anyway, I hope that maybe that letter can help somebody out. And also, I think that it's really, really important if you are somebody that is a supporter of or a family member of, whether if you're not a supporter, but you're a family member or a close friend or somebody that is transgender, try to think about what it would really be like to grow up thinking that you had to be something that you just never were. You can't be, and you can pretend to be, you can try to be, but you'll never be. I think that's just kind of impossible for anybody. And for somebody to be true to who they are takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage. Please respect that about the person that you care about. Because just respecting what they want in a name or a word, like a pronoun that they want you to use for them, that can mean so much. It could mean the difference between them always feeling shame and guilt and sometimes even hate for themselves. It could mean the difference between that and actually having and being able to live a full and healthy life. It's incredibly hurtful otherwise. So it's just something to think about. Yeah. I am very, very lucky that my parents were both very open to me. And yeah, pretty much. Also, I passed my 1 week mark already. I'm now about almost a week and a half. And it's been pretty cool so far. I've noticed that there's definitely a flux, after the 1 full week. When you get into the second week, you can kind of feel testosterone kind of tapering off if you do the every other week thing. So yay for that. I don't really like it so much. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a little while.